I pay attention to chat. We're good. We're good. Professional caster, professional streamer. What could I say? You know what you're getting when you come to a Blade cast. Um,
Typical opening, it's that 6-house opening, 4 core for the Molly, and then that quicker feudal age timing with the Mantiquari, not the trade network of the olden days.
yeah, and like I said, so as I was saying before, chat rudely interrupted me, telling me to show the game. I can't believe that. Um, so yeah, as we're going to see, Malians does have that backwards gold, right? So a ram timing, for example, he would have to go all the way around if he wants to go deny some gold, and that's just not really worth it because if core will have reinforcements, which will easily be able to deal with it in time.
Yeah, it makes it much, much harder for that feudal age strategy. And look at Divine, 5 villagers already on gold. Early wheelbarrow, I guess.
Yeah, that must be an early wheelbarrow build because you never see 5 villagers on gold this early, and he's inspiring all 5 and hasn't taken it back to his food. Usually you inspire like the 3 villagers on gold, and then you take it 6 on gold. Wow, this is
But for some reason, the timing looks like it's about to. No, I mean, almost makes sense.
I didn't see. Did he add his gold a little bit later than his food? Maybe.
I mean, I'm not sure. He must have though. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Yeah, because the fact he's aging up at 230 still seems wrong to me. If he did, so I must have missed the begin. We must have missed the beginning. He must have had no villagers on gold at first.
Yeah.
So it's not as weird. Kind of an interesting Akin Chapel. I mean, actually, it's a pretty good one, right? It gets his wood, gold, and berries, and sheep, so it's not a bad one.
And it's so close to his town center. It's going to be really, really safe. Yes, he loses some farm locations technically due to the town center, but still very, very strong as far as the safety goes.
Yep, and we see the Mantiquari coming up for core. Again, everything's very, very standard. I mean, there's no doubt if Divine is going to go fast castle, he's got the ideal spawn for an Akin Chapel. And to be fair, from knowing Divine and seeing his play, I definitely suspect he's going to be doing a fast castle over a feudal age aggression.
I just feel like against Molly, though, what do you really get? Like, yes, you get your castle age, but you get countered out by units from Molly that they can produce now.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's we'll see how Divine tries to play it. I'm assuming I think Divine will add in archers and stuff, but I don't think, it's hard to say what he'll do. I'm not sure how he plays this matchup. I mean, this is a tough matchup, right? I mean, it's very hard for Hre regardless. And there we go. And instant stable. And I know this is going to surprise chat, but this is going to be Warrior Scouts incoming. I know this is very, very shocking to everyone involved.
Yeah, Core has his scout over at Divine's base as Warrior Scouts should be coming through. There it is, the next 10 seconds or so. And I always love to see this scout right on the gold vein, right as Warrior Scouts is finishing. But look at what Divine's got on the gold vein already going down.
Yeah, he's got an outpost, and it does have 3 on stone, so he is actually going to be going stone, or he's going to go for a second TC, or that could just be arrow slits. It's just arrow slits.
This is what Divine does. He just long gathers stone for upgrades. Usually gets enough for 2 different outposts. Sometimes only 1. It's usually 1 on gold, 1 on berries, but obviously he gets both accomplished with 1 single one.
Oh, and he's going professional scouts. What?
Whoa, this was something I have not seen out of Divine before, as, he will have those double deer at a very close and easy location, and professional scouts, though, seems odd to try to execute against Warrior Scouts.
Yeah, I don't like this from Divine. I feel like if Core scouts this out, he sees this happening, what Core can do is he'll just kill the scouts. Because scouts are slower, and especially when they have deer on them, right? Like, they can't... He's going to have trouble, but he is making spears, so maybe with spears he'll be able to.
Yeah, okay. He only has to park his spears at that one location where the deer are, but whoa.
Oh, look at this.
Has some villagers circling on around and wondering what their job is going to end up being.
I think he's going to put an outpost to try to deny that gold. Core does have stone as well. He actually put the Manticore on stone, so he is going to be putting an outpost, it looks like. And look at Divine. He's just... Ooh, Divine just lost 100 wood.
Oh my, that was such a bigger resource loss than what was expected. And right, if this outpost goes up, this is like over for Divine. He's invested so much into this location. He gets fully denied off of gold just with that outpost upgrade, but the spear comes out in just the perfect timing. He's going to be able to pull vills. There's no archers near and there and available, but there are warrior scouts, and one spear doesn't usually just deal with a warrior scout efficiently enough.
I think Divine will be able to force a cancel or just remove this. It is going to cost him a lot of villager idle time, and but it is canceled. So I think he will be fine. He does actually Divine. It was forced to make a horseman, and you know right now that may be in a lot of idle time. Was that worth it? Probably, because it does keep him with his gold, and now there's just he's forcing a further back tower.
Yeah, and yes, he had a lot of idle time for all those vills, but he did pick up a scout, and well, he just loses his, but picks up a scout, picks up another one, denies the outpost, and still is kind of forcing Core back from this location.
Yeah, and the thing is here is, are there more warrior scouts are on the way? Second pit mine has been done. This is forced back, but look at this. I mean, Divine wanted to go professional scouts, and now it's very delayed. Ooh, Core might lose a... Okay, Core does lose a scout.
Vills.
Yeah, he's going to lose both vills. He did take out the scout, so, like, Divine has professional scouts, but he only has one scout to grab him with.
You say that. He's got 2 more in queue now, though, and so this is when he has secured that location. Core's now down 2 villagers, and that's not just 2 villagers because you got the inspiration from the chapel. Yes, though, Core investing heavy into some bigger and greedier pit mines near the Western Sacred Site.
Yeah, and look at this. At his initial gold mine, he hasn't finished it. He still can fit another 2 houses, I think, and a mining camp. But so far, not doing anything there.
And Divine stabilizing this location, stopping the production as he says, nope, this is enough. He's starting to drop in those deer at home. And Castle Age is going to be dropped here in the next couple minutes. He's also upgrading his food gathering rate away from the berries, now over to the deer under his town center.
Yeah,
and grabbing survival tech and wheelbarrow.
Yeah, and so here's the thing that I'm... Okay, Core's about to see this. He is going to definitely snipe that one scout. No way it gets out of there alive. Maybe it will. I don't know. Oh, okay, I guess it does. That's what I get for saying that.
Oh, right as you said that, I knew the scout was going to live. It's just a caster curse.
Yeah, so here's the thing, though. You know, Divine's about to go castle. Core's Castle Age, it doesn't look like he's really looking for castle. He's kind of making units, and I don't know if I like that. I feel like this might be... Now, this is where I know Core plays Malians, at least a little bit, but he doesn't play him very much, and I think this is kind of where it's showing. Instead of going fast castle, he's kind of sticking to that feudal age, and that's something Divine will be okay with. He'll be happy about, actually.
Yeah, and Core's been losing a lot of warrior scouts. Like... Oh, as I say that, he loses another one. Just because of the spearman mass, it's been able to stay at one location. Usually with the warrior scouts, you're forcing these spears to go all over the place, but Core hasn't been able to do that.
Yeah, and so I'm going to assume that we're going to see knights from Divine. Will Core be able to get that scout? Nope.
And more deer just continually being dropped down. I will say those deer probably going to be eaten up rather quickly, but super strong gathering rate, and he still has another 5 deer out there that he can grab.
Yeah, and we do see Core losing another warrior scout, and we see 2 knights coming out for Divine. Core still rallying units across. He does have spears, more warrior scouts, some archers, so he does you know, he's getting a decent mass there. Still hasn't finished his initial pit mine, isn't putting any more villagers on gold, but he is close to Castle Age himself.
Yep, spears starting to move out. They will start getting sniped out. The question is where are the knights going to go right off the bat? Are they going to be able to go do some damage, or are they going to try to fend off some of these units over on his side? And there it is, clearing up the 2 Donzo, and now there's no counter unit there really for these knights.
Yeah, there's still yeah, there's 2 Donzos, so he'll be able to do. He should be able to take care of 1 knight. Divine doesn't really have an army, and Divine can't get those last 5 deer as of right now. And Core is very, very close to that castle age, so I'm assuming he actually has a lot of villagers in queue, by the way. He has like, what is that, 8 villagers in queue at the moment? If he just cancels, all he has to do is cancel 1, and he can go up to that castle age. And there we go with the Farimba garrison.
So Farimba Garrison going down. So even though the early game hasn't looked the greatest from Core, I still think Core's position that he finds himself in really fine. I kind of mentioned it before the game. Civs that go castle very fast against Mali, I feel like they always just end up getting overrun by military. And Core has double the military, even still taking some bad trades and losing a lot of scouts when it could be a lot worse. But I mean, Core's still feeling pretty solid right now.
And I just want to point out that Divine hasn't even attempted to sneak a relic. Like, I think he could have snuck that relic closest to his base during that whole engagement in the middle. But he didn't even try that. So he has Regnants, but he doesn't have a single relic to benefit from yet.
Yeah, I 100% assumed he had tried to sneak a prelate out at this point and maybe just thought he hadn't gotten lucky yet. But first relic just now starting to go being grabbed by that initial prelate, as well as securing up the berry location on that northwestern side as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to be expecting to see poison or arrows coming in shortly for Core. We do see warrior scouts being upgraded once more. And just, we're seeing the knight count grow for Divine, though. He does have, 8 knights, which, can be hard counter depending on what Core decides to do here. Like, I don't think Core's army right now can deal with 8 knights.
No, definitely not. Those 6 Donzo, those are still, weak, hardened Donzo, not really that kind of specialized unit that can actually start shredding some knights.
Yeah, and we're just going to see. I think Core would make the right decision to pull back.
Last couple deer are being grabbed as Divine. He slow and methodically has been able to grab those deer, but villagers starting to go idled under the chapel. Looks like his knights starting to dive forward, take that fight, but Donzo get a great first brace. There are only a few of them, and as you can see, those knights, only one of them goes down to half health. Other than that, Divine just pulls back, circles right back away for it, and is choosing to take this fight, and the warrior scouts taking down some prelates instead.
Yeah, and we're just seeing, we see monks coming out for Core. He's trying to get those, he's trying to get the relics to deny Divine the relics. He did also kill 2 prelates from Divine who were trying to grab that relic on near that battle. So that's kind of nice, taking 2 of those out. The problem is he isn't letting himself get that military mass, and since he doesn't have that military mass, he's not really, able to take a good fight against Divine. And this is where I think. If Core just gone for that fast castle instead of, such a long field age, I really think this game could be looking a little bit different because that Farimba could have been pumping for a lot longer.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Divine has 12 knights, and I feel like the 12 knights could kill all of Core's military.
Oh, for sure. There's just not enough. 5 Donzo, 7 poison arrows, or actually, no, do they even have poison arrows? They don't have poison arrows yet, so they could definitely destroy that.
Poison Arrows is on the way, though. Have another minute, basically even until Poison Arrows finishes. But how much damage is going to be coming down before that as more scouts are going down? A few more archers taking some damage as well. And Divine moving further and further out on this map as the HRE, which is always a really feels good moment.
Yeah, and so, Divine securing the second relic. And yeah, I just definitely not feeling too good for Core's position right now. He is throwing down some more stables. I'm guessing, yep, he's going to start doing a sofa switch, but will he be able to get those sofas out in time? He is grabbing a relic, or Core is.
And of course, snags that relic away from Divine, so good denial there. He already has one in the bank, so it should be a 3-2 relic lead for Core, although Divines are working a little bit better.
Yeah, you know what's kind of interesting is I'm surprised at how passive Divine is playing this. I really feel like his Knights, he could have cleaned up Core's army, but he's kind of giving Core the time to get the army he needs. I mean, he's starting to build those poison arrowed archers. We're just seeing more, and then, this Sofa transition here. Sofas do pretty well into Knights. And with poisoned arrows archers, it's the kind of composition you want as Core. As Malians, you want Sofas, and you want poisoned arrows. And that's like all you really need.
And those Donzas are upgraded to veteran age as well, which will provide a nice solid front line for that Knight mass. I'm really surprised Divine hasn't taken like 2 Knights and tried to circle around for some of these other locations to find some vulnerability in Core's eco, some gold, especially the gold that Core just moved out to all the way in the south.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things that I think Divine doesn't do too much. You don't really see him raid too much, and maybe he's a little scared as well of if he raids that Core just counterattacks. Divine has a lot of villagers on gold. I noticed he has 15 on gold, and I'm not sure why. I don't feel like he needs that much gold income, but I suppose we'll find out what he's planning.
But fight looks like it is being engaged. Core thinks he has enough to take this fight. A poison arrow archers gonna be a lot better now that they got that upgrade through. Knight circle on around. Donzo here to help, but only a few Donzo left throughout this, as that has not been the main focus of Core's army. And prelates are actually here helping heal during all of this, although a few get taken out. Looks like Core gets taken out with it.
Yeah, I think again, this just kind of shows, I think, Core's a little bit of inexperience with Malians. There's no reason for him to rush that engagement. I feel like he thinks he has to kill Divine right now, but Malian doesn't, he just needs to build his army, get a lot of those units, and then he could have taken a really nice fight instead. It's now too late, and I think he's not going to be able to get the army that he needs. He's not going to be, he needed to get those, he has Sofas in Master, right? If he had 12 Sofas in that fight, that fight probably goes his way, because his Sofas tank a lot of the damage, they counter archers, and it allows him to, and, his poisoned arrowed archers would do just fine against the Knights, to help.
And now he finds himself swapping harder onto the Donzos when he just lost his archer mass, and Divine has a heavier archer mass. I said it before the game, you really kind of want a balanced composition against Molly, and instead, Divine dropping the archery ranges as HRE, which isn't seen too often.
Yeah, and since Divine took that fight and won it pretty convincingly, he's like, okay, time to go Imperial, and this is when Malian starts to fall off. Everyone at the high level, pro level agrees that Malians are the strongest civ at the moment. They're overpowered, but they do start to fall off the later the game goes, especially without trade.
Yeah, and definitely no trade gonna be going on here. New age begins for Divine. Usually this is one where you're like, all right, I know I have more military, I'm gonna timing push this, but no, not really too much more military, as Core does have a little bit of extra army value. Archers finally circling over, taking down the Imam on the sacred site, but no eco damage really going to be done there. It's actually Core circling with some Sofa raiding the farms.
Yeah, and he might get one villager, but he's going to be forced back. And again, Divine doesn't care about that anymore. He has the Palace of Swabia. Villagers are going to be pumping out like, I don't know, like rabbits, I guess. They're just going to be pumping out like crazy. And we do see Rams coming out.
Rabbit.
What can I say?
Rams are being dropped, so Core, even after losing these last couple fights, thinks he has the options, thinks he has the numbers to take the next one. So double Ram being dropped. It's amazing how fast Molly can remass their military, as he is up to 60 military compared to Divine's 50. Divine is getting that nice elite land or elite knight upgrade, and I'm sure we should be seeing some elite archers after that. He's got a nice relic outpost up front to defend himself as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, if Core just been a little bit more patient, he would have had a massive army right now. He only has, it's still a lot, 33 poisoned arrows archers, but imagine if he had double that.
I'm pretty sure he had 45 before that last fight, and he got dropped down to 10. So yeah, definitely could have had an extra 30 or so archers during this. Divine pulling the Vils away from the location, love this, and deciding to dive in, try to hold this for a little bit, but first, just take the better trade, snipe down all those Donzos, only 3 left, and then now his elite knights are actually better trading into those veteran sofas.
Yep, they have 270 health, they have almost 100 more than the sofas, and the poison arrowed archers, you know, they're kind of focusing, I think they're focusing the wrong things. But it just comes down to it's just a little too late. If Core could have solidified his army, never lost, you know, he lost 2 armies to Divine. I think this push might have worked. But without it, it's just a very, you know, it's just not looking good.
He does get an outpost, but the Ram should be cleared up after this, and not the only thing cleared up as the sofa yet again get wiped on out. He's got a few more in reinforcing. The archer number's still very, very healthy as he's kiting back, and the knight number's actually starting to dip down very low. But
wow.
Divine still has a decent amount of military. I don't know if Core keeps this up, he might be able to keep this push alive.
I mean, yeah, this is the crazy thing. I mean, like, despite all the bad fights, yeah, look, Core has almost double the military of Divine. I mean, is he actually doing it, or is this just, you know, or is this just fake caster hype? I don't even know at this point.
I mean, Divine has a good amount of eco. The longer this goes, obviously, the better for Divine. But Core can have this timing. Emergency repair not being utilized.
I mean, I wouldn't use it on that one archery range either, I think you might want to... Oh, I just realized Divine, if you look at Divine's blacksmith upgrades, he's still on feudal age. He never even got castle age blacksmith upgrades.
Oh, that is massive. He definitely has had the resources to do it.
Yes, that means... Yeah, yeah, I was going to say, that means these Poison Arrows archers have actually been doing a lot more damage to these Imperial Age Knights than they should.
Oof, and... Core runs out of gold, needs to move over to the next gold vein, which he repositions those quite quickly. Still has 1,100 in the bank, so won't skip a beat with this. Pressure should be coming down soon. Prelate moving back out.
Core stealing that relic.
Oh ho ho.
That's actually a pretty big deal, right? That Regnance now only has 1 relic. Oh, here's an emergency keep drop.
Oh. Not a good keep drop, as I think Core can actually just push forward. He has the numbers here. He can easily take this fight, and this time, this is at the heart of Divine's eco. He's got tons of Vils down on top of that. Knights try to circle around. Knight numbers not too healthy, but the keep should actually go up here.
The thing is, I actually don't think this keep is something to worry about. I think what what Core needs to do, go to the left-hand side. That's where the farms are. That's where the Palace of Swabi is. That's where he needs to focus his time. He's still gonna, you know, he's still fighting under this keep, which I don't really like.
Immediately decides to just focus down the keep.
And it has a, you know, yeah, this is a big mistake by Core. This has emergency repairs too. It's not like this isn't a normal keep. This has emergency repairs keeps, so this keep will survive.
But look at the farms around the chapel, fully idle due to 4 sofas. So while he may be focusing the wrong position with the bulk of his military, the main heart of the eco is still being idled just by a few sofa. Villagers being pulled for these rams and just getting absolutely destroyed during this. Divine doesn't care as much due to having Swabia, but not looking good for him now, as this timing from Core just seems to be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, he is killing a lot of workers. He's killing the military, but again, that keep is paying its value. Now has a bombard emplacement. Oh man, if Core just focused on the left, I think this game's over. Now, I think Divine actually is going to, I think he's going to stabilize here.
Yeah, could you imagine if Divine just sent 1 or 2 knights into Core's eco where, you know, he's over on the gold or on the wood lines, where he would actually be able to have to, you know, pull back military. It's not easy to deal with the knights, except when you're in this mass that Core has.
Yeah, and Core's kind of doing a little keep drop here. I feel like there's a better spot he could have dropped that, but, you know, it is what it is. He's building a lot more rams, and, oh man, I think Core tunnel visioned here really hard. I think, because this keep really doesn't protect anything. If you look at this keep, what does it protect? It protects some military structures, and that's really about it.
Yeah, you're 100% right, and this is the point where the military is so low now for core. Like it's a lot different when we're talking about 90 units, but he's down at 37. Divine could be up at 37 units in the blink of an eye, and is feeling quite fine because he has the quality. He even has a relic in that keep now as well, his only relic that is, but still has that relic in the keep. And yeah, he's sad that he's missing out on some of the other relics on the map, but feeling very good at the position he's in.
Yeah, and then we do actually see that Archer did kill that sofa, that low HP sofa. Um, Divine's food eco is kind of starting to recover now. He's back to 1200 a minute. He actually, funnily enough, he actually still has 2 deer under his Akin Chapel. He's back to 107 villagers. Now just kind of, and look at all these rams that Core's building. 6 rams.
I mean, he knows emergency repair is a thing, and this time though, that keep, you said it, cannon emplacements in it, and it has emergency repair back up still, so it's going to take some time to hit that down, even with 6 rams. And ooh, core does get a keep up on the eastern sacred site just in time as the knights now spot out that is where he is gathering gold.
Yep, and we do see Divine getting his Imperial Age up, or he finally got his Castle Age upgrades, and now he just needs to get those Imperial ones. And Divine's, you know, he's actually starting to raid with his knights here, and Core's like, okay, time to attack. If Core, okay, maybe Core is realizing this. If he keeps going up, he can just take out the Palace of Swabia. There is a Bombard Tower, but 6 rams can take care of that just fine.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he needs to do. Looks like that is the area he is heading towards, not going towards that keep first. I guess he's going to take the free outpost up front. No upgrades on it. Don't think Divine needs to worry much about that.
And we do see a Mangonel coming out for Divine, though. So that Mangonel could change things, right? That Mangonel can take out all those archers. And there's only 9 sofas, so there's really not much of a meat shield for Core at the moment.
Rams aren't a meat shield?
And we do see him moving forward here, and there's the Bombard emplacement tower. It looks like Core's kind of trying to supply block Divine, maybe. I just don't think he has enough. I think Divine has enough here to hold this.
I feel like that's just barely been the story over and over. Divine's choosing to take the fight. Rams still just barreling down onto the houses. It will supply block. No, it won't. Divine has 5 other houses being built, and Knights have circled around those sofa. It's just the archers left and just reinforcing units now.
Yeah, and oh man, this is a game that if Core watches the replay, he's going to kick himself for, because he had the game won. All he needed to do was attack up there, and this game's very different. Attacking under the keep was just it was like a bait, and at this point, I mean, Core, I'm just not sure if he can keep this up for much longer. I mean, that military gap's shortening, you know, it's getting shorter and shorter. Divine's food eco's getting better and better. It's now at 2k per minute, and, you know, I'm not sure.
51 vills are burning down the Rams.
That is a lot of idle villagers.
But he is also, what is that, 40 vills ahead.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the Vill lead. Core is about to mine out that large gold vein. Let's see. There's still a couple gold left on the map for Core. But one thing to note though, Divine is suffering on the gold as well. He actually has 0 villagers on gold at the moment, and he's only got 1 relic since Core stole his second one.
Yeah, it looks like he's circling around with his knights, trying to find a spot to do some raiding. Which, as you mentioned, he might just kind of find this stroke of good luck.
Divine's not paying attention. I think he saw those if he was looking, but I don't think he was looking at that.
That would have been a nice old pickup, especially against someone such as the Mali, who doesn't really have this full TC boom like you do with Swabia. An Imperial Age Fort of the Huntress is being dropped, and Core is going for a Sacred Site victory.
Oh, gold villagers being taken down. Oh, looks like most of them got taken away, so he lost a couple there, but not the biggest deal. That's fine. We do see a raid at the top, idling Core's economy. Or not Core's economy, Divine's economy a little bit more. I mean, actually, just looking at it, I don't think Divine knows about this. Okay, he does. He does know about the gold mine right there. You know, despite how this game has been going and how, you know, Core's been taking some bad fights, you know, this is looking, it's still looking winnable for him. He's, you know, he just has to make sure not to take a bad engagement. And if you look at it, Divine has no way to deal with this keep in the center of the map.
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, he could drop 5 Rams, 7 Rams, get or whatever you want.
There's a bombard, so he did spend his gold for the bombard.
And there it is. So that is where he is going to try to start doing that. But Knights in the backside. Great job by Core tracking those down, getting some good picks there. And the Fort of the Huntress will be finished pretty soon. And Core will be Imperial Age.
Yeah, and Divine's had to use the market quite a bit. He's been selling a bunch of food and gold to get the, you know, or food and wood to get that gold. And so this middle keep should go down. Core's almost an Imperial Age, so he'll get Imperial Age sofas. I mean, and if you look at the army of Divine, right, he's got 10 Knights and 47 archers. Well, those 47 archers are going to tickle Imperial upgraded sofas.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Imperial upgraded sofas are it's nuts seeing archers try to take those down. It is less than a tickle, I feel like.
Yeah, so, like, and 10 Knights isn't enough. So all Core needs to do, mass his units, you know, get a bunch of sofas out. And if he does that, I think he'll be just fine. I think he'll be able to still, you know, take this game. I think he is about to lose that middle sacred site, though.
Yeah,
a little too late on the sacred site victory.
Yeah, just a bit too late. Divine retaking that middle location. He will take down that keep with the cannon that you were talking about. And where are these knights and archers going to head to next for Divine is the question.
Yeah, we have elite archers and elite sofas on the way. So Core obviously doesn't want to take an engagement right now. He's trying to, you know, buy time. He's still gathering up that big gold mine and that. And yeah, and he is building stone walls, you know, really kind of really making sure he's secure so that Divine can't easily decap that sacred site. And you know, Core does have, he just needs to get his blacksmith upgrades. Like there's that precision training, increases the damage, the range damage by +2 for archers. So he's going to want to get that soon.
Oh yeah, that is one of that unique techs for Mali that they have. It upgrades a lot of their different units, but this is where a night raid, good reaction from Core, pulling those vills back as his Fort of the Huntress spotted out that night raid before it got to where it needed to be.
Yeah, and we're seeing, you know, Divine, he does actually have a good food and gold eco right now, by the way. So he is, you know, since he's found that gold mine, it's about halfway out. He does have another gold mine. Oh, actually has 59 gold, so that's his last gold mine. I don't think Core has made his 4th pit mine, has he?
Not that I've seen.
Not yet. Oh, and he takes out the Mangonel with the Culverin. All right, here comes an engagement here. I mean, this fight should go well for Core, I think.
Yeah, this goes to Core, I think.
Core still hasn't started any of his Imperial Age blacksmith upgrades.
Yeah, Divine not microing his archers at all, just focusing down on that front line. Now it's just archers versus archers, but will they trade, you know, efficiently towards each other? One has poison arrows, but there's going to be a lot of overkill going on. That being said, Divine still lacking those numbers pretty heavily.
Yeah, I just want to yell at Core, get your Imperial Age upgrades, please. You know, I mean, Divine's army is falling. Again, he does have a good food and gold eco, so it's not like he's struggling there. Knights are rallying to their deaths at the moment.
Yeah, and the Culverins pushed back that bombard, had to pull some vills to go heal that back up. And Divine's military, again, just crushed to nothing. Core is looking super strong right now on the late game Mali, which is surprising to see. The late game Mali being the strong part.
Yeah, well, so Divine is getting his university techs now. He has incendiary arrows about to finish. Core is still not getting his Imperial Age blacksmith techs. Oh, that's so painful because I think Divine has all of his. Yeah, he has his Imperial blacksmith techs, which is making his units, you know, go even trade even better. And does Core have the Imperial Age rams? He does not. And that stone wall's about to get open, or get opened.
I will say no melee damage
Oh,
or armor really for divine upgrades other than one single one.
yeah, but look at
Obviously his
this. Divine is finally starting to transition into some men at arms. A little bit late, but I think he definitely should have done this a little bit sooner. But here they are. Man, I think Core is still in a lot of trouble here. I think like this game is so crazy with how this is. It just show this game really kind of shows to me how strong Malians are, because with how many weak engagements Core has taken, the fact that he's almost won this game and probably should have won this game is just insane.
Divine has his military numbers skyrocketing back up, Core dropping another keep to try to protect himself up. This time, though, Divine has culverins of his own, so Siege War not really the easiest for Core any longer.
Yeah, and there is those outposts with bombard cannons. He needs like a couple of trebuchets to take this out, but I don't think he's going to make any. We do see an attempt at engaging. Again, Core still no blacksmith upgrades. And I think game number 1 is definitely, right now, I definitely favor Divine's position. I think he's pretty much got this in the bag now. I'm just trying to think of any way Core can really hold on, but I think, I think it's
I felt like
just about over.
there were multiple spots that it felt like Core had this one won for himself, but Divine just barely able to hold, barely able to just keep these engagements, just enough to keep himself alive, enough to keep him rebooming on up. And then we talked about it, HRE in this late game, Mali really at their weakest point now.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else he can do at this point.
Siege moving up for Divine, military moving up, starting to burn down the infrastructure, starting to burn down the production and kind of just everything in their path. Core will start getting house blocked, but more importantly, he's going to start losing his actual landmarks in a second.
Yeah, and one thing to note is that I'm just going to ignore that for now. And we do see, Core's trying to, do what he can, but yeah, I'm not sure what else Core can do here. I think he's dead. The thing is, Divine is out of gold at the moment. I don't think Divine knows about that gold mine. Oh, wait, I keep forgetting. It only has 59 gold on it. Man, if Core had been able to hold this off, been able to stabilize, and, he'd gotten his Imperial Age upgrades, I think he probably would have won with that passive gold income. But that's GG, and Divine takes game number 1.
Yeah, really, really crazy back and forth there. I felt like it could have gone to either side at multiple different times, but ended up Divine held, Divine stayed strong and got the victory on game number 1.
Yeah. Okay, so game number 1 goes to Divine. And we will be going into here.
Checking in on some of the other games. Looks like Recon made it through, is facing Kill Jardy. Lash 2-1 Crackety, and waiting on the winner of Zerton versus Noosh, and Orc still waiting on Anatan versus Cat.
Oh yeah, Lash did end up being Crackety 2-1. Recon vs. Kiljardi starting. Orc is still waiting on Anatan Cat, as you said. And then Zerton Noosh is still going on. Where are your points? I will give them to you. Divine ended up winning that game. Just looking to see if I don't know if what's going on with the core Divine series. It is a best of 3, yes.
Noosh is up 1-0 on Zerton
Ooh.
after a 40-minute French versus HRE game that French ends up winning.
Wow, that's interesting. You don't see French beating HRE in the late game very often.
No, not a 40-minuter. If you had said 20 or less, I would have said French. Yeah, probably.
But Noosh is French. Now, obviously, this was months ago, but I remember playing against him in the Road to Red Bull, and his French was really good. I think he's always been very good with that civ.
Yeah, Noosh is solid. I feel like he goes in spurts when you find him playing and then not playing. But I guess that's as of everybody.
Yeah. So we're just waiting for them. They're just doing the civ picker. Right now, so we're going to see what game 2 is. I believe that's going to be Escarpment as the second game. And it's going to be Mongols versus English. Do the pro players train as smart as they could be, or is it a bit papega? I mean, it's kind of hard to train. Like, the most efficient way to train would be to do just custom games on tournament maps. But that's very hard to do because a lot of players don't want to do custom maps. They want to play ladder, but the ladder has, a bunch of maps that aren't used for tournaments, so it's very difficult. Like, the ideal way to do it would be to do what the Koreans did in StarCraft. Custom games, that's all they did. Super good. And then we're just kind of waiting for their second game to start here. Shouldn't be too long. When will we start? We're just waiting for them to start their second game. It looks like they are in lobby, so we should be starting soon. We'll be going to game number 2. Mongols for Divine, English for Core, on the map Escarpment.
Welcome to the drunk stream.
I wonder how many people think I'm actually drunk.
Just always, every day. Every time you're streaming, you have to be. That's what it says, right?
I know, at this point maybe I do need to just start drinking every stream. Oh, just kidding. I couldn't do that. My body would not like that. perma drunk. Yeah, I'd be perma dead. Mongols, Mongols can be dangerous, but I mean, Marine Lord was saying earlier today that on escarpment, I think he favors Mongols over English. All right, and here we go. Let's go into. Looks like they are starting. We can. Oh, I gotta invite you.
You got it.
And let's go into game number 2, Core versus Divine on escarpment.
Look at the background.
Yeah, but look at those farm placements.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, there's some that are not even around the mill. And is that English? Because if that is,
Oh, that's definitely English.
not getting those bonuses for those farms, that is embarrassing.
That's true. Yeah, I can do predictions here. How long will the stream last today? I'm not sure. That's a good question. Here's your prediction for you gamblers in chat. Let's look at the bracket while we wait for this, huh? Because we still have 4 minutes. So there might be one more series after this, and then I think we'll probably be done. Probably be like Anatan versus Orc. Could be Zerton or Noosh versus Lash. Probably be the last series. But hopefully you guys have been enjoying the games today. I think we've had a lot of really good, action-packed games today. Been
Oh, yeah, for sure.
definitely been some good series. And I'm gonna have to figure out what time I'm gonna start this next weekend, because I think I have to do it a little bit later, because I believe since I made top 16, I'm gonna be playing 2 games next Saturday for the Outback Octagon.
Hell yeah.
So I gotta figure that out. But we shall see.
So it's only 16. Do you have the list of the 16 people left for the Octagon?
I don't think I do actually. Or let me see. I do have it actually. So actually I'm technically 15th, but it's B, me, Vortex, Recon, Matisse, State, Zalami, Divine, Striker, Beastie Cutie, Dawn, Artie, Wham, Anatan, Puppy, Marine Lord, Orc.
Nice.
Although I will say I think Avley got kind of screwed, as I think he should have advanced, but B ended up getting with that disconnect. He ended up getting 6 points from killing Zerton, I think, for getting first blood, or 4 points or something, both games, so 2 in each, which kind
Oh,
of, which means
I didn't see that.
I think Avley would have advanced otherwise. So not too sure though.
Mm.
Yeah, Divine made it. Of course he did. He has like 9 points, I think. Or he has 9 points because he won the first one. I'm surprised I made it. I got lucky. I would not have made it if I didn't kill GUA in the feudal age. Because that gives you an extra point, so that was 3 points. So it was first blood plus the feudal age kill, which meant 3 points instead of just 1.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah, I do have the score update, right? Nope. Okay, we're gonna put Divine 1. We still have a minute. Okay, while this...
Chat knew you were gonna update it before the game started. They just
Yeah,
trusted you because you're mega pro streamer.
I know, right? Okay, I'm gonna be back 1 second. Gotta feed my dog real quick.
It's all mine. Not too much longer we got left over here, and Orc is playing against Anatan. Think they're about to check in now.
Orc versus Anatan. I mean, that's a pretty good match. They're both good players.
Mm-hmm.
Still rooting for you, Blade, since Core's out. Oh, and the Outback.
So Mongol versus English over here on escarpment. Let's see if Divine does go for that horseman opening like we kind of talked about with Marine Lord earlier.
Yeah, I'll be very curious. I mean, I think he's going to, because he's going to try to go water. But I suppose we shall see. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what Divine will plan here. It'll be interesting either way. All right, let's pause for a second, as usual. As is tradition in this. Oh, let me make sure I do have the casting up right. Awesome. All right, and let's begin with game number 2. Divine versus Core. Mongols versus English.
And look at that core sending 2 Vills out to the dock. And obviously, this is better because he can go ahead and get the dock down quick and go ahead and start gathering that shoreline fish with those 2 villagers.
Yeah, this is escarpment, Chewbacca. And yes, and one of the nice thing is, not only that, but if Divine did try to go for an early dock, he could use these to kill that villager before that dock could finish.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Divine going for the Uvu right off the bat. Villagers need one more drop off before we see that first production building. And like we said, we assume horsemen.
Yeah, we'll see very shortly what Divine's going to do here. We do see Core, he's going for the straggler trees. I'm assuming he's going to make a fishing boat immediately, and then probably a barracks.
And there is the stables being dropped. One villager on its way, then headed back over to the food, as it will take a bit of food to actually be able to start producing out of this stables, as had to go heavier onto that wood first.
Yeah, and it is a little bit extra stone to get those double horsemen. You need 120 stone compared to the 80 for spearmen. So when this finishes, he won't be able to produce double horsemen immediately. And we do see a barracks already coming down for Core.
Yeah. One thing about the English, though, they will not be able to make those spears. They are men-at-arms, which any other civ, that would be better, except for Mongols. With those horsemen coming out, you would rather be able to make a few spears.
Yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see what... so it looks like Divine is just waiting for that stone. I expect the 2 horsemen. There we go. And we'll kind of see where this goes from here. First men-at-arm coming out for Core.
It hasn't yet gotten a fishing ship out, so it doesn't have any sort of kind of huge eco bonuses other than, the bit of extra delay that Mongols has before their first Vil comes out.
Yeah, and so I don't think Core will lose his dock. I think his dock will be fine. Like, I don't think there's any amount of horsemen that can take that. Because the nice thing about the horsemen is their mobility, but since Divine doesn't have a dock, Core doesn't need to worry about pressuring that. He just needs to worry about defending his own dock.
Khan's starting to get hit by that men-at-arms. Men-at-arms chasing him a little bit, but Core really wants to keep those men-at-arms at hand. Make sure to, stay here and focus the correct things and defend up that location.
Yeah, and we do see Core, he's got his second men-at-arm. He hasn't started the third yet. There we go. There's his third one. Divine making more horsemen here. But he's not really able to do anything yet with them. Like, yeah, he's trying to take some pokes, but might get a villager here.
Oh, he is starting to focus down those 2 villagers, and Core trying to use those fishing ships as a bit of body blocking, but horsemen, they have that mobility pathed around the dock, and the second Vil is getting taken down. 1 horseman has gone down, so a little bit of a trade-off there, but double Vils. Core does have double fishing boat, though.
Yeah, so it was 2 Vils for... Was that 2 horsemen or just 1?
Just 1.
Okay, I mean, that's a very painful loss this early in the game for Core. Definitely not something you want to be, experiencing. But he does have the fishing boat, so it does kind of, take away from there. And if we look at the villager counts, I think they're actually still even in villagers. Divine has 16, Core has 13. But that, I don't think that's including the 3 fishing ships. Or maybe it is.
The up top graph does include the fishing ship, so Core's just up a little bit of eco now, even through the Vil kills. Horseman number is climbing up, but so is the men-at-arms number, and Divine's kind of trying to split these horsemen off to distract the men-at-arms and actually get some damage down, but it's just so hard to find that actual damage.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I actually think this is really going good for Core. Yeah, he lost 2 villagers, but he's getting those fishing boats out, and Divine is spending a lot of food on those horsemen. He has made a ton of them. And yes, Core's making just as much on men-at-arms, but here's the difference. Core has fishing ships. Divine doesn't even have a dock yet. And, you know, this is going to delay his castle or his feudal age by quite a bit.
Yeah, the key thing here is when Divine was getting those men-at-arms split up, he needed to use that mobility to dive on the smaller group of men-at-arms, which he did like one single time and just did right there, and then get out. He just traded 1 for 1, somewhat decent, but again, Core still climbing with that fishing boat number.
Yeah, and so, you know, if he'd been able to take that without losing a horseman, that'd be different. And, you know, Core's recognizing that Divine's still making horsemen, so he's adding another couple men-at-arms. And, yeah, Divine still has 2 more in the queue. He has no intentions of slowing down on his horseman production here.
Yep. Circle down that one small and split off men-at-arms, and that was the pick that he needs. Like, if he can just keep doing that time and time again, though, much lower health one, gets a little bit distracted by the scout attacking his gold. Horsemen 10 to 7 men-at-arms on the other side. Both players getting pretty close to this castle age, or not castle age, feudal age.
Okay, we're seeing some harassment on the dock. Core and Divine are both close to aging up. Ooh, Divine might have to cancel that wheelbarrow potentially. He could age up if he didn't have wheelbarrow going right now.
I think he can force drop off and still age up.
Yeah, he can. I mean, no, I wouldn't cancel it either, but here we go. They're both aging. Actually, Core's aging up first with 7 on the council hall. Divine aging up with 14 on the deerstones.
Yeah, he won upped him a little bit. Finally, he's starting to burn the fishing boats, and I'm surprised he didn't try to do that a little bit earlier. Once he got this bigger group and splitting the horsemen into 2 different groupings again, and this time I think he actually has the number to start doing a little bit of damage as the men-at-arms about to get pushed and pulled around due to their immobility.
Yeah, and you know, Core's doing a good job. He's making sure he's microing his fishing ships really well, making sure that they don't actually burn. Takes out another horseman. And you know, Divine may have aged up faster, but he has no food. So he can't make anything. So he can get horseman upgrade, which is probably why he rushed that age up. Core is almost done aging. And, I mean, and then Core can just get a military ship and he should be fine.
He's going for that men-at-arms upgrade immediately. Divine knows he needs to take the fight right as that ends. He goes ahead, dives on in. Attack speed arrow comes through, but those men-at-arms about to get way tankier.
Yep, they just upgraded as well, and you know, I think this trade is going Core's way. He's taken out the horseman. Divine lost that, and again, he's got 9 fishing ships and a galley now. So, eco-wise, Core's looking good. Like, he's very happy with how this is going so far. He's got the water, Divine doesn't, and he still has, you know, 10, 11 shoreline fish he can gather. So he's looking pretty. I mean, look at that. He's up ahead by 10 eco at the moment.
Yep. I'm surprised Divine never tried to split off some horsemen and go for the gold as Core was gonna get to that age up mode. Instead, he just kind of didn't ever find any damage by the dock. Kept trying, and never did anything. Where he knew the gold was unprotected at home, could deny that, and if the men-at-arms had to run all the way home, that would actually allow him to potentially get some extra damage.
Yeah, and Core's sending 2 longbows across the map, as you can see. Looks like they're going straight for those berries. And if you look at this, Divine has no food eco once this berry's out. His fishing, or the deer, all the way by his front gold. Divine might be in trouble.
He might just forfeit after this, honestly, if I were him. Villagers already starting to go idle on those berries, and there it is. Core spots it out. Those villagers headed to the one single sheep under his town center.
Yep, they're all going to. Sorry, I just had to respond. Yep, so he's going to have 10 villagers on one sheep, which is really 6. I think you can't go any more than 6. He's trying to raid with the horsemen, so he might be able to do something to the gold. But, oh, Divine is not looking good right now. And Core, he's close to Castle Age. Jaina.
He realizes how idled he was on that sheep, just how you said. Only 6 could be gathered from that. So he pulls over to the other side, berries, and Core finally is taking some damage with the horseman raid on his gold. Like I was saying, I think Divine should have done this way earlier on.
Yep. I 100% agree. This should have been going on a lot sooner. And now, Core only needs 35 more gold, 100 more food, and then he'll be going Castle Age. And again, Divine's economy, even if he goes Castle Age right now, he only has some berries and one sheep.
Yeah, I feel like he's in shambles over there.
Yeah, I think I was really surprised he didn't at least try to go for the water. I'm really not sure what Divine's goal was with the horseman. He just was trying to deny the water, but he was never going to be able to take straight-up engagements against those men-at-arms by the dock. And Core was very smart to recognize that and made sure to stay next to his dock and not wander out, because there's no reason to.
And there's the triple pastures, exactly how he was needing. Divine had pulled off the gold for a while as he moved over to the berries earlier on when he was struggling for food so hard, and then transitioned all the way back to the corner side gold. So this will provide him some safety. But the villagers on those berries going to start running low. At least he's got 4 pastures, but will this be enough?
And look at this. Divine doesn't have military. Core's going to deny this food altogether. We need a blade dog cam. The thing is, my dog doesn't spend that much time in my room when I'm streaming. I think she does it out of spite. King's Palace? Why? Why would you not go King's Palace? It's a second TC. There's no reason to go White Tower.
He's not taking any aggression. He's already in the eco lead. Why not just add to it even further as he's the one being the aggressor? Have a better eco behind this.
And Divine is going Castle Age. He does finally have some sheep, so he's starting to get a little bit of food eco. But Core, Knights on the way, took Divine completely off those berries. There's not that many sheep for Divine, but it is on an Uvu at least, so those should be coming in faster than normal.
Yep, the question is will Core spot out how, vulnerable he is on the food, or what will his, damage point be? He's going to spot out the step out being built, the outpost being built, and him back on the far side gold.
Yeah, and Core does know about it, so he's just got to put pressure on there. I'm pretty sure he has his first 2 knights going that way. And, that's 17 villagers on that gold. A tower can only hold 5. So I feel like chat's trolling at this point. Already 1 water eco, but you still want to boost your eco even more, Miss Hibbs. You don't want to go... What does the White Tower provide? It doesn't really provide anything but defense. He doesn't need that. He's got a significant advantage on that at the moment. And we do have 4 Lancers coming out for
look at the wood line right now, though. If he can spot out that wood line with the scout, the longbows could just fire over it. But instead, I guess they are all just headed towards that gold. Villagers trying to fast build multiple outposts here, starting to take damage already. These outposts, they just seem a little too late.
Yeah, and oh man, yeah, we see all the villagers are in there now. He is fine. Springald in placement. He is going to lose this army, though. I think Core's going to lose every single unit here because there's 4 Lancers out, and he doesn't have that many spears.
Yep, just try to do as much damage as possible, and
what
as much damage as possible
Divine's
is.
Base.
That is what I was going to say. The base. Knights were on top of the villagers on the sheep as well as the one on the woods line. Not enough room inside the TC, and these villagers, they're all just going to get taken down. Look at how tanky those knights are.
Yeah, Divine is at 34 villagers to the 62 eco of Core. Now, yes, 11 of those are from fishing boats, but the other 20 are not. And yeah, Core did lose his whole army there, but he still has it. Well, okay, that counts the fishing eco. I forgot. It counts the galley and the demolition ship he made. So Divine does have a little bit of a military lead for the moment. And I do not think that's going to be very much longer. Look at Divine's food. He has 37. He has 2 food, 37 food per minute. He's only got 6 villagers on food right now.
At least he, since he only has a few vills on food, he's starting to save up from sheep at least.
Yep, and Divine and Court is starting to take the relics. I mean, this game has started really badly for Divine, and it's only getting worse. I mean, 6 villagers on sheep just isn't enough. He needs more, and Core's doing more than fine on his food eco.
No blacksmith on either side.
That's not too surprising considering they went fast castle, but I do agree that, you know, they should be throwing down a blacksmith soon. Second TC coming down for Divine now.
Yep, 13 villagers on top of that one, just easily able to move over from that wood line, since for the Mongols, that's all it costs is wood for that second TC.
Yeah, chat's such a troll. Now they're like, Wololo, why? Second TC, why? Knights, why? Why raid?
It's 'cause you said something about
I know. And there we go, another villager kill. Yeah, and this is see what Court is getting his blacksmith. Divine, I mean, a blacksmith is kind of far on Divine's mind at the moment, right? Divine is so focused on, you know, trying to stabilize his eco and get back in the game. I mean, look at that, 40 eco lead almost for Core.
44 total population for Divine compared to 94 for Core. This is about to go downhill fast for Divine.
Yeah, and the other thing is Core's also getting the relics. So not only does he have a fishing eco, he has relics. He's had that extra TC for a long time. He has farms coming down, another 8 farms coming down. I mean, he's just, in a moment, Core's eco is going to just explode, and he's just going to overwhelm Divine with way too many units. I mean, he already has 23-7 military.
Yep, starting to get a little bit of everything too. Men-at-arms, spears, knights, instead of just all the knights he was doing earlier. And
yeah.
Core just about to wipe the floor with this next push, I feel like. Mainly knights with the front line, but this time, you know, like I said, a lot more different units to split off with this. And Divine, only knights on his.
Yeah, I mean, Divine is starting to get a blacksmith now. Double producing more lancers, but I mean, I don't see a way Divine can win this. He's Core's up double his supply, and that's only going to keep growing. I mean, when you see blacksmith upgrades coming in for Core, more farms coming down. So Core's doing a really good thing, is he does recognize that, you know, this fishing eco, it's a temporary thing, so he's making sure to have that transition already complete. I feel like this is a much, you can tell Core really has a good game plan into this game compared to his the Malian game. He's playing it very patient. He's, you know, making sure to utilize his advantage, and he knows how far ahead he is. He's feeling really good.
Yep, and then just kind of making sure to not overstep, not just make that mistake that could allow Divine back in this game. Play it slow and methodically, correctly here. And that's exactly what he has been doing. Gonna take out the Khan. So GG's in the chat, everyone, and should just be taking out Divine soon after this.
And Core has taken all 5 relics. That's right. He didn't take 3. He didn't take 4. He took all 5. And usually it's opposite. Usually it's Mongols who gets most of the relics, not English. And just look at that military grow.
Look at how many knights he has. He's got more knights than Divine has military.
Yep. Yeah, there's 10 Lancers for Divine, 15 Knights for Core. And really just kind of waiting on Core to, you know, make his attack. He's still, you know, he's got almost 2,000 food per minute. You know, Divine's finally starting to get that food income, although he does not have enough pastures to hold 35 villagers on sheep at the moment.
Yeah, those pastures were stacking up the sheep when he was lacking on the food income, and there comes another one. But even still, he's going to need another 4 or 5 pastures, especially now that the Uvu is no longer on top of these.
Yeah, and I'm expecting to see idle villagers here shortly. You know, Divine's trying to do everything he can to get the fishing eco back. He's adding more stables. It's really interesting. He's He's got 5 stables now, and just pumping those Lancers out compared to, I think Core only has 2 stables. Oh, no, he has 4 stables. So, and he also has, you know, crossbows and a few spears. And Divine is about to be out of his gold in that back corner.
Core just choosing to burn down the range instead of just diving on this villager mass under the TC, idling all of Divine's food eco, but totally understand it. Divine not pulling back the stables, not trying to keep these production buildings alive, and I don't really think he can anyways.
Yeah, and Core's taking all 3 sacred sites. He's got so much passive gold right now. He's sitting pretty. He's building a forward outpost, burning down the blacksmith before it can get +1 melee damage. And here goes Divine trying to take a fight here, but I mean, even if Core lost this fight somehow, I think he's so far ahead that he would still be fine.
Somehow. Yeah, don't think he's going to end up losing this one. He is 60 to 15 on the military count.
And he's got like 12, yeah, he's got 12 crossbows, some spearmen, lancers, or knights, and there we go. That is GG. We have tied up the series 1-1.
Yes, solid game there. That was a wild one.
Definitely a very good start for Core.
He just kind of took off from that failed horseman push. Like I said, I think Divine could have done a lot better with this horseman as far as splitting them and hitting actual vulnerable spots of the eco. Those men-at-arms so immobile, but he allowed them to just stay in that same position the whole time.
Yeah, and you can just look at the, so this is the villager count, right? Even. Look at the eco. Whoa, why did it do that? Okay, go to the eco tab, and you can just kind of see it really skyrocket here. Like, Core's ahead. Almost looked like it's evening out, and then boom, he's just super far ahead. 6,000 more food, almost 4,000 more gold, 3,000 more wood almost, and yeah.
Yeah, made that one look really easy. Solid game, and we'll be moving on to the game decider here.
Yep, game number 3. And we're just gonna kind of wait up here just a moment. Okay, and let's go into game number 3, Divine versus Core. All right, don't worry, chat. I got you. I know you gamblers out there. Like, I need to get my gamble fix in. Oh man, Core's at 20% there, but he took it. China versus Abbasid. Oh, let's pause. Caster mode. All right, there's your prediction, chat. Enjoy. All right, you ready to go?
Ready to roll.
Okay, so this is game number 3. The winner of this moves on to Saturday, which I think is top. I don't know what that placement is. I'm not even going to say because I'm not sure. I think it's like top 12 or something. China for Divine, Abbasid versus Core on the map Tempe. For those who don't know what this is, think of this like a better version of Altai.
Yep, exactly that. Easy way to sum it up. Couple, one extra sacred site, couple extra boars, but a little more open and less of these like annoying spawns and, you know, impossible to raid bases and whatnot.
Yeah, and you know, this is a very interesting matchup. I think of this game, like, I think Abbasid, the way I think you want to play this is you want to get to the Castle Age and you want to try to kill China in Castle Age, I feel like. I don't think you want to play along Imperial Age. I do think it is China favored in Imperial Age, though Abbasid Imperial Age is still really good. And yeah, it's currently just kind of seeing very generic opening, nothing too unusual from either player, which I wouldn't expect.
Yeah, just circling around the map, grabbing up the sheep. We'll see Core starting to expand out the House of Wisdom here now, getting that Golden Age count up, but won't kind of get there until, closer to Feudal Age timing with some production buildings after that. And Divine, we're going to see the Imperial Palace dropped, and then I'm sure the Barbican soon after that.
Yeah, and so this is a thing where Core, I know he plays a lot of Abbasid, so this is something he's going to be pretty comfortable with. Unlike his game with Malians, where, again, you could tell he didn't play the Civ too much, I expect to see a similar solid game plan from Core going into this game. And now for Divine, I know what he's going to do. You ready to hear it?
Let's hear it.
He's going to do 3 TC Song Dynasty. And you may not
Here
believe
we
me,
go.
but he did it versus Crackety on this map. I've seen him on his Twitch when he streams, and I've seen him do it quite a bit on there. So I'm fully expecting him to do the same thing. It was on this exact map versus Crackety.
So do I need to go make some dinner and come back here in 30 minutes?
That was kind of the Crackety Divine game.
All right. I could see a lot of TCs being dropped here then, because Core wouldn't be too surprising for me to see him dropping 3 or even 4 TCs.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, so Crackety tried 4 TCs, but I really think you want to kind of go 3 TC almost. And just like I said, you want to do a castle timing. I don't think you want to play a long macro game. And you especially don't want to let Divine get the granary switch transition without any, without trying to punish it at all. Also, thank you, Rising Empires, for the raid. Welcome, everyone. We're into game number 3, Core versus Divine, China versus Abbasid on Tempe.
Yeah, and then Imperial Palace being dropped. Nice old positioning. Will get the berries. Will get his gold. And that odd-looking wood line, he will get that for a good little bit as well for all that double bounty or whatever you want to call it. Not bounty.
I was about to say, I feel like Divine got a really weird wood spawn.
He did.
Because you look at Core, feels like he got a normal wood spawn, and then he has this really thin one. And then you look at Divine, and he's got like a thin one and another thin one. I mean, I kind of feel like Divine got a little screwed on the map spawn here with that wood line.
Yeah, I didn't really realize until I just mentioned that weird looking wood line on how bad it actually is for him.
And I think what happened with the map gen is, if you look where half that tree line, look what the other half is. I'm pretty sure that cliff bugged it out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Well,
we'll
Barbican being dropped forward by that stone, and I'm sure some Vills are going to be going on that stone right after that.
Yep, and we see Core already gathering stone himself. He's going up with the Eco Wing, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't really say on my UI, but yeah, he did go up with the Eco Wing, and we'll see how many TCs Core drops. Is he going to drop 3, or is he going to drop 4, or maybe he'll do what GUA did and drop 6?
Or all this stone is for a tower rush.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, no duh. Definitely going to be some TC booming here. Barbican's finished, so Song Dynasty about to be online, and Divine already starting to send way heavier on over to that stone. Even pulls the Vills off of gold headed to the stone.
Yep. Again, this is exactly what we expected. And I look forward to seeing that 3 TC song boom. Now, this is the difference between Core and Divine's, or Crackety and Core's Abbasid. You can definitely tell Core's practice Abbasid a lot more. Because when I saw Crackety's Abbasid, he was a lot later on the second TC. And it just felt like he didn't really have a solid game plan. But Core has that second TC down, or already almost finished. Divine doesn't have the resources for his yet. We'll probably need another 30 seconds or so. And then he's going to go for that third TC, and then I'm maybe even a fourth.
All right, and yeah, Core dropping that TC on the stone. You know he's just going to be right back over to the stone, and he won't be. I mean, honestly, he might be dropping his third TC when Divine's starting his second.
And look what Core's doing. He's sending a villager across the map. He's going to wall, like Altai, he's going to wall this side of the map for Divine.
Very, very proactive over here by Core. I always like the idea. It really does cut off so much of the map. There's so many precious resources all behind that cliff that now Core has essentially secured for himself, but more importantly, denied from Divine.
Yeah, and so once he walls this off, right, he'll know when Divine goes for the gold back here, or if he decides to go for the deer or the boar. So it kind of gives him a notice of that as well. Um, and there's the third TC from Core, already dropping down. Whereas Divine,
Yeah.
just now starting his second, a little bit late. If you really optimize your China build, you can start the second TC at about, I think you can do it by like 6:15, 6:30. And this
Yeah.
is a 7:20, 7:15 start of the town center.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's he didn't start it until after Core is already dropping his third. Core no longer on that stone and looks like he is going heavier to that gold. So it might be that 3 TC fast castle, just how you were saying you think is the stronger timing.
And Core is going to scout the villagers. Now, assuming he looks, he should see the stone being gathered again by Divine. And the thing is, though, so Song Dynasty, two TC Song Dynasty is already a big food investment. Because, again, you got to remember, Divine's paying 50 food per villager or 100 with 2 town centers. And Core, he's spending 96 food for 3 town centers. With 3 TC Song, Divine's going to be spending 150 food per cycle for the same amount of villagers as Core. And faster.
Yep. Exactly. It's so much of a food resource, so that's why he's trying to secure up the next food resource, actually resources, with the next set of berries and deer. But even still, this is all for just nonstop production. And look at what Core has being dropped over by the initial berries.
Yeah, we see an outpost here. Divine doesn't see it at all. He does have a horseman that he made, and he was trying to, try to harass that, but I think that horseman is just dead now. Maybe it'll survive. Nope, dead. So the horseman didn't contribute anything, but we see Core's already getting close to Castle Age, and it's going to be a while for Divine. It's just so much food he's going to be investing that he's really going to need to pump for a while before he'll get that Castle Age, and he is making a barracks as well.
Yep, that outpost is going to finish, and I'm sure that villager going to move along that backside, go try to deny the deer on next, or just fall right on back and get that upgrade in. Once arrow slits is through, range gets extended, a little bit harder for Divine to grab up those berries.
Yeah, now the thing is, what Divine can do is he could just pull his villagers and take it out once it starts firing at him, and we do see Core going up with the military wing. Which is about what I'd expect. You see archery ranges coming out. I bet we're going to see some lancers, and I'm anticipating a siege timing.
Oh, and a Vil goes down from that outpost. Berries do get denied. Divine drops another barracks, and any production now from Divine just gonna make him further and further away from his Castle Age, and he's still just pumping out of those TCs, but one less food location that he can grab from now.
Yeah, look at Divine also. He has 18 villagers on gold. I think a little bit overkill because he still needs another 800 food before he can advance. And, he's starting to make a bunch of spears. Not sure if he thinks that there's an attack coming, or maybe he's just building them up to take out that outpost, which is my guess as to why. But we can see 40 seconds till he ages up. And the funny thing is, one thing about China is, even though his castle age is going to start later, he's going to probably get to castle potentially as soon as Core, maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, I can just fast build that so quickly. But if you're a Basset and you're aging up at the same time as your opponent, usually you're finding yourself in a pretty good situation.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing about Abbasid is you can build your siege, so when he does decide to do his siege timing attack, which I think is what he's going to do, he's just going to, build the siege. He's already starting to build rams. Divine Castle Age is almost already complete. Like I said, it's not much longer than Core, even though Core started 2 minutes before. Divine's going to hit that castle like 15 to 20 seconds later.
Yeah, good thing for Core though. Divine not too much of an eco lead, even with that 3TC Song Dynasty, as he has been having a little bit of idle time. As you can see, his main TC right now isn't being queued up. And the second one, but at the same time, you know, it takes a lot of gold. It takes a lot for China to get online fully.
Yeah, and so here's the problem that Divine's going to have soon. So he's going to take out that outpost. He's going to have 2 of his berry packs, and then he's out of food. So right now, Divine, you know, he has a nice healthy food income, but it's going to plummet soon if he doesn't start doing the granary transition. And the thing is, Core already pumping out those units, has Lancers on the way, more crossbows, adding in more barracks. And I don't know if I agree with using a battering ram against the first Barbican. I think you need more than 1 ram, but either way, that is happening right now.
And one single Barbican, Vils and Palace Guard immediately pulled. Ram has to pull on back and just takes a lot of damage, really, for not much return damage that it put out.
Yeah, and 2 Camel Riders coming out. I'm assuming we're going to see Men-at-Arms from him as well. I mean, Core has a lot of food banked. He doesn't have a lot of gold at the moment, but I think that's just because he's getting a bunch of upgrades and he's getting, you know, the relics as well. So he's making a Springald already because he's anticipating a Nest of Bees from Divine, which is a very correct assumption because that's exactly what's coming out at the moment.
Yep. Divine is queuing up that Nest of Bees, still has some more Palace Guards in queue as well. So good frontline infantry mass, and Core just got a good little mix of everything. Still has those Camel Riders from going up with the military wing, but Men-at-Arms and crossbows are going to be his main core, it seems like.
And I think this is a smart decision. This is something that I like to do against China. Men-at-Arm, crossbow, siege, and then you just push. It can be, because since you can build your siege, you don't have to build a siege workshop. It saves you that 400 wood, allows you to get those reinforcements a lot sooner. And then China, you know, he's not going to have his granary transition done, and he's going to need to be pumping units. Unlike his game versus Crackety, where Crackety was able to, Crackety let him boom, Divine, or Core is not going to let that happen. So Divine is really going to need that transition. And you can see the military is, you know, looking very good for Core. And, you know, it's almost double what Divine has at the moment.
Yeah, and Divine, he did just drop double range, start pumping crossbows himself, but he will start idling out that production that he dropped if he doesn't start transitioning to those granaries soon. 3 berry bushes left on each of those locations he's at. Well, I guess 4.
Yeah, and I think Core wants to get a few more Springalds. I would not push if I were him yet. I would wait until I had at least 3 Springalds. Otherwise, that Nest of Bee is real. You know, there's 2 Nest of Bees out for Divine right now, and that is enough to hold this off. You know, it's going to take one Springald will lose to 2 Nest of Bees if the 2 Nest of Bees focus fire it. Oh, and here we go. 3 Rams moving forward. I mean, Core doesn't have the gold yet to be able to make that secondary Springald, but that outpost will be denied.
Both of them starting to snag up these relics.
Nest of Bees take their first shot. Oh, okay, here we go. This could be really... Okay, Nest of Bees. You know, Core realizing, wait a second, I don't want to take this yet. I need a few more units, or not just units, but I need a few more Springalds. And, you know, those villager kills have evened out the villagers. Like, Divine is now 99 to 98. He doesn't have that bill lead he had before.
And look at the wood line swap. Because of that original wood line on the west side is almost depleted. He's going to have to go to that smaller one on the east as well. Granary's starting to be transitioned into, but Divine needs a lot more than that to keep producing on what he wants and what he needs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, is he doesn't want to be doing this. He's making his own Springalds. I mean, Core's doing the correct thing. He's going to have 4 Springalds here in just a moment. He's putting a forward keep, which I really like here, because look at this. This is going to deny stone, gold, and give him that very nice map control. Divine, at the moment, cannot push this. Like, if he was to push, he would lose the fight pretty handily, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. It is China. I can't underestimate them. And, you know, Divine right now, his food eco is taking a plummet as he has to spend his wood onto farms and siege at the same time.
Yep. And I think you are right that if Divine took this, he would get crushed. But unless those two nested bees just had some unreal couple fires.
And I mean, just look at Core's food economy. Right now, he has double the food income of Divine.
Yeah, he has slowly started that food transition a little bit himself. Hasn't yet gotten the agriculture because he doesn't, I guess, have enough farms for him to think it's worth it. Fight being taken, though. Springalds trading off with each other. Divine has those clock tower. Springalds has the numbers, and Core, again, falling back. Rams did some damage, but pulling back there as well. Villagers just killed down the rest of these Rams, actually.
Yep, Rams are gone. The nested bees did a lot of damage to those Rams as well, so no surprise. I think what Core probably needs to do is get himself some trebuchets. I mean, we see more and more units coming across. Core is getting a bunch of eco techs all of a sudden, just spamming his gold, and he does have 2 relics. Could grab that 3rd over there, and he's taken all the sacred sites, so he's going to have 3 sacred sites in just a moment, plus 2 relics. He's going to have a very nice gold income. And Divine, his farm transition has been delayed because of this attack. He's only at 700 food per minute, although Core's has actually dropped quite a bit as well. And actually, Divine at the moment only has 14 villagers on food.
Yeah, Core, though, his eco should start to go up quite a bit with those eco techs all coming through, and he has dropped a few more farms throughout this. He's kind of on that front side still, and should keep pressuring Divine and putting the clamps on him.
Look at that right hand side cliff. Divine has 8 villagers just chilling there. They're not showing as idle either, so he doesn't know. And the reason why is he tried to get them to go to that right side wood line,
that wall,
but that wall's in the way, and now he's gonna see it. He's trying to get the gold from there because he has. Oh wait, no, he still has gold on the bottom left.
He's still got but he's still just trying to spread out his eco a little bit, so when he gets pressured in the west, he's still not fully idled off a goal in that case, and has safe locations because he's already walled up that east side. Instead, though, he's dropped 3 trebuchets have just popped out like nothing, and that's why supervising a siege workshop. So these are not clock tower trebuchets.
Yeah, and look at this. Core is going to Imperial Age, by the way. He has a minute left till he gets there. I don't think Divine's going to be getting there for a little bit, as he has to wait for his granary transition to really kick in. And, and Core, he's going to be making those beautiful, beautiful culverins. And I do think he is going to lose that. Yeah, I think he's accepted he's going to lose this keep in the center. Just kind of, is like, okay, I'm going to lose it. Nothing I can do about it. Just wait till I hit Imperial Age, get some culverins, and then he'll be able to really take on the Siege of Divine.
Yeah, stonewalling the west side. Core is Divine stonewalling the west side as well. Both having kind of that same similar idea. And Divine moving out to those other wood lines because his wood line was so bad. If he gets to that one massive one at the west, that will sustain him for quite some time.
Yep, and we do see, Core never did take that relic at the top, but again, he still has the 3 sacred sites, so it's not like he's hurting anywhere. And Divine pushing up a little bit, and he's going to be going Imperial Age here momentarily as well. But Core has a nice food bank, right? If Divine goes Imperial Age, he's going to be at like 0 food, whereas Core, he has 3,000 food in the bank.
Both players sitting on that max population. Spirit Way, 31 villagers. We're going to blink and this thing's going to be done.
Dude, it might be done before I find it. There it is. Wow, look at that monk, by the way. That monk ran all the way from the monastery on Core's side, or on the side of Divine on the right, all the way to the relic that was walled, and then back.
Keep that sprinting up. Now he's a spy. He's just there for the intel.
Yeah, and let's take a look here. Divine, he's actually stonewalling the right-hand side. He's going to stonewall that big gold. Okay, Core can't let that happen. Core needs to secure that side of his map because he's going to want that for his own.
That's not the only gold. They're both 8Ks there over there that he's going to wall in.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem. You don't want to let China have that, whereas Core doesn't. But still, I'm not really sure what Core's plan is at the moment. He's maxed out. He has been for a while. He's Imperial Age. What's he waiting for?
I don't think you can let 3TC Song just chill.
Well, I don't think that matters too much anymore, right? They're both at their villagers. They're both actually have the same villager count, 130. Although I don't know why Core has more military than Divine. That doesn't make sense to me.
He's siege. Divine
Imperial.
has 30
Oh,
siege.
right. Yeah, you're right. See a bunch of production coming down for Core, throwing down a lot of barracks, a lot of stables.
Core extending those stone walls out, but oh, he gets over. He's dropping a keep on that 8k gold.
Where? Oh, nice. That's very good. That's what he wants.
He doesn't have a ton of ills though building that keep, and the question is,
it's not going to be
will
denied.
it finish before the stone wall fully finishes, or will Core spot out that stone wall more importantly?
He did. He's already blocking it. Oh, wait. There's a palace guard coming in. It is going to deny that. But Core's sending more
palace
villagers.
guards on the way.
Core's sending more villagers though as well. He really wants to get this up ASAP. Pushing the center a little bit.
Yeah, main fight starting to go down on the center. Core decides it is time to start pushing up. It's men-at-arms, it's crossbows, and some springles on the backside versus mainly that crossbow palace guard mass on the other side with siege.
And the thing is, Divine doesn't have roller shot or trickle. Oh wait, yeah, he doesn't have the triggers yet. It's almost done. Oh, but Core's mismicroing, and he's not gonna be able to take advantage of that range increase. Well. And this battle is going to probably go in the way of Divine, though Core is getting on top of those nested bees to stop them from firing. Really, really smart play. We see a bunch of camel archers, more crossbows, horsemen coming in. I mean, Core has his production down, right? He's going to be pumping units. Look at that food eco just coming, taking out the siege of Divine. That's what he needed. Divine's army is actually crumbling. He's at 19 to the 50 of Core. Might be able to take out these trebuchets. And, oh man, you know, this is actually, this might hit right before Divine's truly ready for this.
Yeah, I feel like Divine just doesn't have the production, doesn't have everything he needs. Yes, he finally has his granary eco fully online, but he's only sitting at, 15 total production buildings compared to Core, who already has 40 extra production or units out compared to him.
Yeah, we just see more. Look at that unit, the units of Core just pumping out. I do think Core needs to probably chill out for just a second because that barbecue, or the Barbican of the Sun, is about to have cannon emplacement finish in about now.
Oof.
He needs to wait.
Probably could use some siege that takes down some actual buildings, because that Barbican getting taken down would be such a nice pickup for Core.
Yeah, Core doesn't seem to care, though. He's just flooding in the military. The thing is, though, Divine is starting to get a good hand cannon mount. He has 17. Core's army is just going to melt to that. That Trebuchet is not really doing much. He's trying to burn down the Barbican of the Sun, but again, those hand cannons are just going more and more. And once he gets a deadly mass of those, this trickle can be really dangerous. And
Archers, though, circling around the backside, gonna get on top of those granaries, or
very
maybe
smart.
get
I
back
didn't
to
see
the
that.
gold as well.
Very smart here. This is going to be a real pain in the butt because Divine might not notice this as he's so focused on the front. Okay, Divine does notice it. He is losing some villagers here, though. And look at that. Core still has a 2,500 food bank, whereas Divine's is 0. Oh, that's because he's going to Imperial Palace. He's going to start mixing in those, what's it called? Those Fire Lancers. So Fire Lancers are about to start pumping for Divine.
Yeah, Fire Lancers definitely pose a problem. Always have that landmark snipe ability as well, playing against Abba.
Yeah, and so Core taking that 8k gold mine, the forward one. He still has one safely in his base whenever he needs to take that. He is sending in his Imperial Age Rams. These are Imperial Age Rams. They did get the upgrade. So he's going to go. So that barbecue could drop pretty quickly here. Divine, or Core is obviously going to push forward now. Panic keep coming down for Divine. This should go down, or this should go up, I should say.
He's pulling the Vills actually to go heal the Barbican instead of put the keep up. Fight going down, and look at those hand cannoneers just shredding that mass like you were talking about. Divine pushing forward, and Core's mass is thinning and thinning out fast. He has a keep queued up right now, but I don't think that keep can go up. I think he's going to have to cancel that.
Yeah, well, he did pull 24 villagers. Oh man, Core's starting to struggle a little bit. His food eco's starting to fall. Divines is still going really strong. That bank is, you know, he still has 2,000 in the bank, but Fire Lancers on top of the villagers.
Fire Lancers and Hand Cannoneers. Divine dropping to keep his
Oh
own, trying to
no!
race this up.
This is
And
gonna
look
be
at those
denied.
fills. They're falling fast. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think Core was a little too... He just pushed too deep into Divine's base. He needed to kind of chill out for a moment, build his army, you know, get some siege, and... But now, it's looking bad. I think, you know, and this is China. China is... I definitely favor them in this scenario. China has Fire Lancers, they have hand cannons. I mean, China's just an insane civ in the late game.
They got an extra 8k gold. The Fire Lancers, though, I think is all he really needs right now to just demolish everything. Start sending those all around the map. Look at how vulnerable Olacor's eco is.
Yeah, and we're seeing the raids coming in. We're seeing a bunch of spears, but again, the problem is those hand cannons. He doesn't have a way to deal with those right now. And, you know, Divine has killed 51 villagers of Core, which, man, how many villagers did Core have to where he still has 110?
I mean, that's what both of these players on that many TCs, just non-stop villager production, though it is looking bad for Core. The numbers are falling and his production is falling with it. He built so far into this mid-map, but now he is starting to be pushed back towards his base. There's a little bit of a raiding party on some of those back farms that Core sees, but you know, that's just idle time and more kills down for those vills.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those things where this is why I think Core just needed to make some trebuchets earlier. If he made trebuchets, he could have taken out that barbecue instead of sacrificing, what, 9 rams, 10 rams, something like that. And I feel like he just kind of didn't make those trebuchets, so he wasn't able to really push because that Barbican of the Sun, man, it had the cannon emplacement, and there we go, GG. Divine takes game number 3.
What a series, though. And game number 3, game decider, series decider, going over to Divine.
Okay, looks like we have a little bit of a delay. Looks like Zerton just kind of left, decided he wasn't going to play anymore. Didn't really tell anyone. I know he was saying that he didn't really want to play another series, but looks like he's just gonna. Looks like Lash is just gonna kind of go up in that series.
Okay.
I mean, definitely, you know, this matchup is feels very tough. I think the best chance is definitely a castle for Abbasid. If it gets the Imperial Age, it just feels very, very good for China. So we're gonna call that series there. Those are some good games, though. Definitely nothing